Hi, my name is ColdBR and recently I played a lot of Against the Storm. I had the game for like 2 years, if you include the beta who that horse gave me, but I never explored it on a deeper level, until now. Basically they sent me the Keepers of the Stone expansion ahead of time, so I decided to sink my time into this game and it was totally worth it. Against the Storm is fantastic, it has beautiful atmosphere, great visuals and interesting gameplay. Also, it is very deceiving. Every play session starts as a calm city builder with your servants doing various tasks, like fishing, collecting insects, building various houses, decorations and having a good time in general. And it always ends in a stressful race against time with your townsfolk dying left and right, evil spirits possessing the forest and your queen's impatience growing like crazy. I can't even count how many times I won the game with just mere seconds left on a clock. So there is a calm beginning and a stressful end, but the whole game is in between those two. And the usual map takes more than an hour to finish. So let me quickly explain the victory and losing conditions. If you want to win the game, you have to fill up the reputation bar. The reputation points can be earned in various ways, like fulfilling contracts and finding some opportunistic places in the forest. And losing condition is to fill up the Red Queen's Impatience bar. This bar fills with time, so basically when you just play, it grows, and you can reduce it by gaining reputation. So if you fulfill the contract or get reputation points in any other way, the red bar goes down. If you struggle to make your queen happy, the bar goes up relentlessly, and if it fills up until the end, the queen recalls you from the expedition to put some sense into your puny body. I don't know what the queen does to you, nothing good probably.
Shame. Shame. Shame, shame, shame!
Yeah, something like that I guess. So you don't want to disappoint your queen. Also, in some maps you have to fulfill additional conditions in order to win the game. Anyway, that is not a simple thing to do. The game has so many resources, it is really hard to grasp your head around these things, especially at the beginning. I'm not kidding, there are like 30 primary resources and more than 20 secondary ones, you know, made from primary ones. For example, StarCraft had only minerals and gas. In Age of Empires you have stone, food, gold and wood, and even that seemed a lot back in the days. Although in Against the Storm at least you don't have to worry about actual fighting, there is none of it. Everything is done by researching, slowly and without pressure. Well, I'm kidding of course, pressure is always there. Sometimes you discover terrible things in the forest, like this, or this, and you have to deal with them, or you know, they will like eat your people. And calming them down always requires resources. Some monster may need tons of special meat and you may not have it at the moment. Usually you get like 10 minutes until something devastating happens, so you have to acquire the goods in one way or another in that period of time. Sometimes you have no means of doing that because you may not have the building which is needed to produce the goods. And you can't just build it because you may not have a blueprint. These are given to you by random. Usually you have 3 choices and you must pick one. And if you pick the wrong one, you're kinda screwed. There is a trader of course where you can buy various goods, but the trader visits your town just for a short amount of time and it may not have the wares you need, so your time is ticking like a bomb. Your town is on a verge of collapse and you just wait for a trader to show up and sell you some crops, because you never took the farming equipment with you. That takes all the relaxing city builder vibe out of the game. Well, honestly, that shouldn't be there at all. This is a roguelike survival game. Nothing should be relaxing in this place. But there is, deceivingly. And you are in charge of various townsfolk. Humans, beavers, lizards, harpies and foxes. Also frogs. Introduced in the last DLC called Keepers of the Stone. You can access all the species by leveling up, and frogs for example need you to be at least level 13 to appear in your town. Every species has their own special abilities. For example, beavers are very good at cutting the trees down. Obviously, humans are very good at making booze and drinking it, which is also an obvious thing. Frogs like water and so on. So you have to make them all live in harmony and peace together, if you don't want to end up on Queen's carpet or on the wall. Every townsman has different needs. They want raincoats, pickled goods, good boots, beef jerky, potato salad and so on. So you have to make these things if you want to keep them happy. If they aren't happy, they just leave and you are short for for workers again. And if things are really bad, you know, like hunger, your townsfolk start dying, and that increases the queen's impatience very quickly. You know, you may not care about them, but she does. So my advice would be, before playing, just study the needs of your people and then pick buildings according to them. The rest you will learn. I won't be telling you about the amber trade, various researches, and so on. The game is very complex, but you learn as you play. One thing I didn't like is that there are just too many buildings with overlapping industries. Just an example that doesn't actually exist, but it is easy to understand. Let's say one building can make bricks and raincoats, another can make raincoats and towels, and the third one can make raincoats and potato salad. So if you want raincoats, there are like 3 or 4 buildings available that make them, and I think it is too much. I like my games to be simple. I want one building to make raincoats, not 7 of them. Well, I am exaggerating, but that actually makes the game more complex than it needs to be, because at least I tend to ignore most of the stuff and I build only the things I like. I understand that in higher difficulties you have to take everything into consideration, but playing casually on normal, there is no need for that. Anyway, I played the game with DLC installed already, so I might have missed some new stuff because everything was kinda new for me, although I know that the DLC introduced this new coastal biome with these water striders. You can send them to expeditions to search for treasure and blueprints. Also here you can fish. I don't know if you could do that before, but I think that is a new mechanic. And they also introduced the frogs. As I mentioned before, the frogs are unlocked when you reach level 13. Anyway, if you are thinking about the game, I can only recommend it for you. Is it worth playing in 2024 or 25? Absolutely. It is stressful, but you can always hit pause, issue commands, and then unpause. That helps a lot. And of course, I recommend buying it on GOG instead of Steam. GOG games have no DRM, meaning that you can download installers and play your games offline if you want. Basically, that is the same as owning a game CD back in the day. You'll find the link to the game in the description below. And now, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Also, don't hesitate to subscribe.